Ian Cruickshanks from the South African Institute of Race Relations joins me now. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.
Let's take a look at emerging market currencies. They're all taking a battering. How much does this have to do with the Fed's announcement that they're going to hike interest rates in December?
Well, of course, that announcement was just confirming what was generally expected in any case. So it's interesting that the market has had such a strong reaction, but I think what it says is confirms that the trend in interest rates is definitely higher, sooner than may have been expected, and that takes away from from the risk appetite that had been building up.
Back in South Africa, we got our midterm budget coming up in about 2 weeks. Finance Minister Malusi Gigaba is going to be doing that. What are the markets reacting like to that?
Well, I think the big thing is going to be with the economy hardly growing at all. Perhaps 0.5%, perhaps not at all. The companies have been making lower profits. Confidence amongst companies and individuals is very low. There hasn't been any revenue production. There hasn't been spending to encourage that, where revenue could be taxed. And I think we're going to say, most important of all, where is the revenue coming from? How are they going to get to the lower size deficit that they were hoping for? And this is a very, very important number that we've got to see.
Looking a bit further on from October, in December, the ANC elective conference. How interested are the markets in that? I heard a Rand Merchant Bank person saying yesterday they've done a survey which shows that if Cyril Ramaphosa wins, the Rand-dollar exchange is going to change by about 96 cents. So how much are markets looking and watching the elective conference in December?
Well, let's just say that estimate of how much the Rand would change has to be speculative. It's just, it's just looking ahead to events which haven't happened yet. But yes, from a confidence point of view, I think that there will be quite a change. But we have to remember also that one person doesn't make a whole party's policy, and the ANC has got a reputation for doing everything on a very consultative basis. So perhaps that is hoping for an extraordinarily good outcome. But Mr. Zuma hasn't lost the election yet, and I think that that's also important. And we have to see it's not just he personally, but what type of grouping are going to follow him on. This is all important for confidence in the economy, for new capital flows, and the rebuilding of that economy.
The JSE is seeing record highs, continuing to see record highs. What's happening there? What's driving that?
Basically, it's being driven by those companies who have got foreign currency earnings. Those companies that are restricted for their business prospects in South Africa, in Rand terms, are not doing that well. And I think that there are a number of companies who have hedged their revenue, their future earnings, by investing offshore, by getting a foreign currency flow into South Africa, and that is all important in buoying their revenue, buoying their profitability, and hence their promising prices on the stock exchange.
Statistics South Africa just releasing manufacturing numbers a few moments ago, up 1.5% from August last year to August this year. What can we read from that? Are we starting to move really far away from the technical recession we just came out of?
1.5% growth year on year is not moving very far away, I'm afraid. So to answer your question, no, I don't think we're moving very far away. It's positive movement, and we can't ignore that. But I think what it is saying is that it's a little bit more, the manufacturing sector, which should be seen as promoting exports, as promoting the drive forward in the economy, is not doing too much in that respect. Therefore, I think we're going to have a problem once again coming out in the budget forecast, in the medium-term budget policy statement, saying that, finding the revenue will be a very real problem.
HTX Stock Exchange launched on Friday. What effect is this going to have on the JSE, if any, and when do we start seeing that entrant and its effects on the market?
There will be an effect, but it will be a small one. It's a very small start in a very big arena, and comparing the listed capital of the JSE with the new exchange, it's not going to make a significant dent, but it will take interest away, and it's always a good idea to hedge the areas in which investors may operate, to extend those areas. And so I think it's a positive move, but I don't think it's going to be a fireworks display just yet.
Okay, we were talking a little bit earlier on about Minister Malusi Gigaba's midterm budget speech, and you were speaking about where they're going to find this money from. One of the suggestions has been that there can be a dipping into the PIC for funds. The PIC manages about 1.8 trillion rand of money. There's a lot of what it appears to be behind the scenes action regarding the PIC. Do you think that's a good idea for us to find money? If there is no money, go to the PIC, kind of bail out state-owned enterprises like the SABC, like SAA?
You know, the PIC there is there to manage the funds, primarily the government employees' pension fund. As a pensioner, as a previous government employee, do I want to know that my pension money is being used to bail out what is already a failed operation? No, I don't think so. I think it's a morally bankrupt idea, and I would be very surprised if a permission is given to go ahead. It's against the rules of the PIC at the moment, because it doesn't satisfy, you know, proper and appropriate investment rules and regulations. So I think it would mean that South Africa's reputation, our chance of a downgrading, would come even sooner, and that would be even more, and that would be very bad news as well. So perhaps the only thing to do is to raise taxes. Of course, that's not going to be very popular, but maybe it has to be done. Sell off state-owned enterprises. At least if they can't realize a big capital sum, at least they can stop the drain, this open pit that there has been in running these organizations for little or no benefit.
Cruickshanks, thanks so much for your time on SABC News.